Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Loving Life Freely here. I've been talking about getting a soul video done for y'all for a few weeks now. It's just been super crazy here, but it's actually quiet in the house right now with everybody doing different things. So I thought I'd take advantage of the time and try and get a soul video going for you guys. So we're going to screen share like we always do, and I'm going to show you what sold in the month of December. We did actually have some pretty good sales, so I want to share those with you really quick. Grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, whatever works for you, and let's dive in and see what sold last month. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and dive into sales here. I'm going to start on eBay first. So what I'm going to do for you guys this time around with my sold video is I'm going to put some numbers up here for you. My COG on all the items that sold in December was $76.42, and we turned that COG investment into $606.21. So very happy with that. We're going to go ahead and dive in, and I'm going to show you the first item here, and we're going to scroll our way up, and then we'll head over to Poshmark and I'll show you those. So the first item here was this really beautiful Talbot's women's floral top that I did pick up at probably St. Vincent's. That's typically where I pick up most of these items for probably $4.75, and this sold for $18. All right, the next item was a pair of Wrangler men's vintage jeans. I did pick these up at the one of my first binge trips, so these are already starting to sell. The size on this one was 44 by 29, and yeah, the COG on this was $1.26. And they sold quickly because I started doing binge trips probably back in November, so this was a quick flip. And these sold for $22.51. Okay, the next item was also a bins pickup. I'm going to go back and actually just click on the picture. I think you guys can see it better. Again, I paid $1.75 for this at the bins, and it was just such a beautiful coat. Lauren Conrad, even a size small, and it still sold. I think partially why is because it was part wool, and it was just this beautiful pink coat. So I took a chance on it, and I was very glad I did. Again, this sold, I'm going to say within a month. I was very happy with that. And the price that sold for was $47.45. All right, the next item was also a Vince pickup that I took a chance on. This was a beautiful vintage Sears fashion 70s geometric dress, and this was just cute. There's the tag right there, and it actually says by Sears. When you look at this, click on that, it says Sears right here, and made in USA. Anytime I see something like that, I definitely look for it, look at it and see what's going on. Again, this was a Ben's pickup, $1.19 for the COG, and this one sold for $34. All right, my next item, I've had this one for a while. A lot of my items, as you all know, I've been going through my inventory and taking all my inventory and putting up brand new photos, especially my old stuff. I'm almost all the way through my old stuff. We're going to go ahead and go through everything that is up to the last 2 months of us listing, anything that was before that. This I picked up for about $3. It's Columbia Sportswear Purple Vest. It was quilted, and paid around $3 for it, and this sold for $10. I let this go for that amount because I've had this for over a couple of years. So I really wanted to get it moved, get my COG back, and invest that into something else. So we went ahead and got that moved out. All right, another item here. This was another one of my first bins trips. This was a popcorn stitch, super cute sweater. I don't know if I have a closer picture of the popcorn. But this was just a really pretty, I took a chance on this one because it wasn't extra small, it was cotton, but I'm really glad I did because my doggy's playing with his chew toy. But it turned out really well. If you guys hear squeaking in the background, that's my dog playing with his chew toy. So yeah, this sold for $19, which I was okay with because it was loft and extra small. Again, I paid $1.26, so it sold quickly. I was very happy with that. All right, this was something that I received about a year ago in a box or something. I honestly, no, I picked this up at the store. I can tell by the price. $4.75 into this at the store, and I took a chance on it, and it did sell. I have had this for a little bit. not too long. I don't remember exactly when I picked it up, but I've had it for a little while. and it sold for $25. So I was very, very happy, especially since we're already, you know, a third into winter. I was happy to see that go. All right, guys, I knew that this would do well. I picked up 2 hunting vests at the thrift store the same day. This was probably about a month ago. I took a chance on them because hunting vests do well for me. And sure enough, they both sold within a week of each other. This one I paid $1.26 for. I sold this for $30, and I'm very, very happy with that. Yeah, if you run into hunting vests, guys, and you can get them for a decent price, I'd snatch them up. This was another chance that I took at the thrift store. I paid $4.75 for it. This is Croft & Barrel, size medium, but I picked it up because it was a wool blend and it's a vintage sweater. My dog is playing with the screw toy. I apologize if that's bothering you. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I gave him a different toy. Hopefully he'll play with it. Okay, so anyway, this was a Croft & Barrel. It was vintage, part wool, so I took a chance on it. I'm glad I did. It sold for $31.44. Definitely worth the pickup. All right, I found a couple of these at the thrift store, and I took a chance on them even though they were white because I didn't know if they would do well. I paid around $5 for each one, and they both sold within 2 weeks of each other. One sold here on eBay and one sold on Depop. So yeah, I was actually very glad I picked them up, again around $5 for the cog, and this one in particular sold for $27.50. So very good pickup. I would definitely do that again. All right, Tommy Hilfiger. This was something that I picked up again at the bins, took a chance on it, paid $1.19 for it, and it sold about a month. So normally Tommy Hilfiger tops and sweaters don't do very well for me, but I'm finding the pants do better. So if I find more pants in a good size, I'll probably snatch them up. These sold for $18, and I was very, very happy with that. All right, this is something that I picked up at that new 2U thrift store that I've been checking out. I paid $4.75 for this. It did take a few months to sell, but it did sell. Let me see what it sold for. It sold for $21.59. So I was very happy to pick this up. This was called Taylor Investments, Gold Label Women's 14 button, or size 14. I basically picked it up because of the style, the print, and it did do okay. So I may go ahead if it's a plus size or bigger, like a 12 to 14 or bigger. I might grab it if it's a decent price, because this actually didn't do too bad. It sold within, I don't know, 2 to 3 months. All right, next, this was another bins pickup, guys. Now you know why I've been hitting the bins so hard, because my bins items are definitely selling. This was probably like my third or fourth trip. I paid $1.30 for each item. This was something I took a chance on. This was a vintage Aria, a boho ruffle blouse. This thing was stunning. It had this gorgeous embroidery all over it. This really cool detail on it. It was part knit. It had pockets on the front. This really beautiful button. You see all this beautiful embroidery everywhere. It was just so pretty. And I took a chance on it, and it did sell. There's the name again. There's the USA here. Extra large on this. Even though it was polyester, it still did very well. So if I see something else like this again, I will definitely pick it up. This only took a month and a half to sell, guys. Again, I paid $1.30, and this piece sold for $20. All right, another bins pickup, guys. This one I picked up in December, and I took a chance because this J. Crew, even though it was only a size 4, it was in really good condition. Otherwise, I would not have grabbed it. Somebody reached out to me, and she wanted to know if I could like do a special deal because of the shipping or something. She only wanted to pay a certain price for it, I think. And I told her that I couldn't edit the shipping because once you have an offer going on something, you can't edit the listing on eBay. I don't know if you can do that, if you know that, but once you have an offer going on eBay, it's like Poshmark. You cannot edit any information on the listing. And so eventually the next day she just purchased it with the shipping that was on there. So I did take a chance on this, but it did pay off. Let me see what it sold for. Okay, it sold for $51.96. So $1.30 into $51, $52. Very glad I picked this up. I'd probably do it again if it's in good condition. So yeah, that was a great, great piece. All right. Okay, let's head back. I just want to make sure we were recording. All right, guys, when my husband and I were out doing garage sailing last spring before my dad passed, we did a bunch of garage sailing, and this was before I had to take a break from doing the business for a couple months. We went to a garage sale. We picked up a whole box of bowls, server plates, sugar and creamer bowl and different things. We picked these up. These are vintage 1970s Indiana glass blue iridescent. And I've already sold a few of these pieces. We got them listed after I got back from Montana. I think that we listed these in September because that's when I was finally getting back into doing actual listings. And this sold in December. I think we paid less than $1 for each one of these items, so very good profit on this. This particular platter sold for $19. So very, very happy with that. And again, we paid less than $1 a piece. All right, these, you guys, we picked these up. We picked a whole bunch of these up at a garage sale well over 2 years ago. It was in the summertime. We did sell a few of them the first year, and then they weren't getting a lot of likes. We went ahead and kept them listed through the Christmas season this year, just in case. I think we sold 2 more. I think I have a couple left. I might go ahead and, I don't know if I want to hold on to, because they do sell well. We paid $5 for each one, which was a great deal. This one did sell for $50, so I might actually hold on to the other 2 and then maybe have us do photos. Redo photos, because some of them aren't listed anymore. You know how if something's on eBay long enough, it kicks the listing out? Well, that's what it did to a couple of these, and so they're not actually currently listed. Since these do sell well, I may go ahead and have us hold on to them for next Christmas, and maybe next summer go ahead and redo the photos on them and list them, because $5 and even $45 or $50 is nothing to laugh at. So I may just hold on to those. I thought about maybe just giving them back to Goodwill, but these are good sellers. So if you run into these out in the wild, I'll show you the box here again. Like I said, we picked up like 4 or 5 of these. We sold a couple the first year, and we sold a couple this year. They're really beautiful. They're light up. So if you run into these, they're Heartland Valley Porcelain Lighthouse things, and they're different, various, like this one was a Catholic church. There's various different ones. Again, we picked them up for $5 a piece. Anyway, so that was a good sale. All right, these were another thrift store find, guys. U.S. Polo Assassin men's denim. One of the reasons why I picked these up, let me show you the back. See this here? This is why I picked these up, because I've been watching a lot of videos for Depop sellers, and I'm finding other things that can do well on Depop as well as eBay. And this kind of stuff does better on Depop than it does on eBay. I was surprised that these did sell on eBay, but I picked it up because it had this and this on it. Paid $1.30 for these, and these sold for $25. So I was very, very happy with that. Good sizing on those too. All right, and then I do believe, let me see, yeah, this is the last one for eBay. This is another thrift one, guys. I almost didn't list this. This is a Banana Republic khaki utility vest that I paid, actually, I don't know why I showed $3 on this one. I picked this up at the bins, and I was, maybe this was a relist. I think this was a relist, guys, because it's showing $3 in the cog, and it wouldn't be $3 if it was from the bins. I think this was a relist. I had this in the inventory. You know, because I remember it had, I think this is a bins, and I just put $3 on it accidentally. Because let me show you something. See here? There's a little pen mark here. This was a bins find. There was a pen mark here, and I didn't see it until I went to list it. And so I washed it a couple times with some spray on it. So I went ahead and noted it because you can still kind of see it faintly there, but this still sold. So I put the wrong cog on this, which is totally fine because $3 still isn't that bad. But this was a Banana Republic denim vest, and we listed it in December. So this didn't take long to sell either. Probably paid around $1.30, $1.60 for this piece, and it sold for $21. So I'm glad I decided to go ahead and list it. So that is eBay. Now let's go back over to Poshmark, and let's do Poshmark solds. My first item was this Banana Republic. Now this one was relisted. Like I said, I've been going through inventory and relisting old items. We've actually been selling quite a few things that we made all brand new listings on. This one was a Banana Republic wide leg crop pant, women's size 4. I was very happy to see these go because it's a size 4. I'm surprised that Banana Republic smaller sizes actually don't sell too bad. But this one I did do the picture of the leg width as well, and these sold for $17 on an offer. I paid $2.25 for that, so I was very happy to see those go and get rid of some old inventory, which is you're gonna see a bit of in these Poshmark ones. Okay, let's move on to the next item, which is this another old listing that we've had for a long time. I paid $1.05 for this American Eagle out of a old thread up, those big thread up boxes we were doing. This was $1 something from that, and we relisted it, and it finally sold from a brand new relisting on American Eagle on Poshmark for $15. Actually, I don't think I got around to relisting this because this is from an old photo setup that I have. So this was sold before I actually got around to doing a relisting on it. So I probably had this listed for $20 or something like that. Sold for $15. I was really happy to see it go. Again, paid $1.09 from one of those thread up boxes. So yeah, I was really happy to get another old piece out the window. Out the door. That's funny. All right, we have a pair of Lucky Brand jeans, guys. This is another old listing. I can tell by the cog. And these sold. They were listed for $25. Now sorry, my mouse is doing funny things. Now these are a wider leg. I am not picking up skinny anymore, guys. I'm not picking up skinny at all. If I have it in my inventory, depending on the brand, I might relist it for like $15, but I'm not picking up skinny at all. Let's go back and see what these sold for. Okay, these actually did sell for $25, and my profit on this was $5. So very, very good. Glad to see another old piece go on Lucky Brand jeans. Very good. All right, this was another one of those thread up box pieces. This was, I don't even know how to say this brand. E-Mini black swimsuit. Now I felt bad on this order. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story on this order, guys. I felt really bad on this order because I actually put the wrong size on it. And the buyer noted that, noticed it when she received the item. I don't remember what size it actually was. I don't know if it shows on here. But I put the wrong size in the listing, and she reached out to Poshmark, letting them know that she received the wrong size on an item. It was listed improperly on the size, but she'd already accepted the item, so my funds were already released. I did pull Poshmark into the conversation because I wasn't really sure how to handle that, and Poshmark never responded on it. However, I did reach out to her after waiting for Poshmark to respond for a couple days, and I did let her know that once you accept an order through Poshmark, once you know how you accept the order, say yes, I received the order, you accept the item, and then the seller receives their profits. She had already accepted the item, so I explained to her via Poshmark policy that once you accept the item, they do not allow returns. And I told her again, I'm so very sorry for my mistake on this piece for the wrong sizing. And she said she understood, she appreciated that. And then that was just all there was to it. But I felt really bad. So I am double and triple checking, making sure that I do the right size on things. Mistakes do happen, but I felt really bad because she couldn't return the item. She was actually quite gracious about it. So anyway, that was that piece. All right, guys, here's another piece that I picked up at the bins. This is a Torrid. The main reason why I picked this piece up is because it was definitely a larger size. It was a size 5X. It was a Fair Isle Torrid piece. And again, I paid like $1.30 for this at the bins about a month ago. This sold quickly. So let's go back and make sure what we sold it for. Yeah, it did sell for $20, so my profit was $16 on that piece. Alright, so guys, as you can see, a lot of bins pieces are selling, which I am so beyond thrilled about. Okay, this piece was an older piece that I've had for a while, and let me double check. I don't know if we relisted this one. I can't tell by the background. I think this one was an older piece and it sold. This was the size 8, so it was a medium. Gorgeous, gorgeous piece though. You see all this lacing detail. It was brand new with tags, Tahari. I was kind of surprised that this sold because it was a size 8. I think larger sizes, when they're polyester, do better. Maybe it was because of the kind of piece it was and it was new with tags. But I was still so very happy to get this sold. $28. And my profit on this piece was $22.40. So I was very, very happy to get that out. Okay, next piece was another piece that I recently pulled and relisted. I've had this thing for a very long time. And this sold for $18. It's actually patrons a piece, but somehow we didn't get the P in there. It was just atrons, but it's patrons a piece. And it was a size medium. It was super cute top with gathering on the bodice here, as well as the sleeves. This was just super cute, ditzy print floral, and it sold quite quickly after I relisted it. So I was very happy to say, I think it was within about a week of me redoing the listing that this sold, and it sold for $18. My profit was $14.40. I paid around $3 or $4 for that piece. Okay, let's keep going because we have a few more here. This is another piece that I've had for a very long time. Again, just recently reposted. It was a blank New York City burgundy. This was a snake print denim jacket, size medium. This was picked up probably at the thrift store, or I got in this is probably in a box, you guys, because I wasn't sourcing at the thrift store when I posted these types of items. This was all boxes that were coming in. So I paid about $3 for it. And it was just super cute jacket, but I've had it for a while. So again, it reposted, and it sold for $22. My earnings were $17.60. May I suggest that if you have any listings that are over a year old, or from the very beginning of your selling, selling time, do what I'm doing and go through and just put all new listings up. You learn so much from the time that you start selling to where you are, even if it's only been 2 or 3 years later. It's been about 4.5 years, for about 4 years for us. But my sourcing, how I list, it's changed so much that you might, and getting just a fresh new listing up, redoing it, getting new keywords in there, freshening up the photos. You might sell some older inventory. So if you have time to do that, and even kick the algorithm more, I highly recommend it if that's an option time-wise for you to do that. Plus, also, if you're doing that, you're still putting up a big number of listings, but you're not having to source as much during that time because you're putting up old inventory on new listings. So, you see what I'm saying? You're still putting up a new listing, brand new listing, literally. But if you're kind of tight on your budget for sourcing, this is a way to still source smaller sourcing items for numbers, but still be able to get some good numbers in for listing each day. Okay, this was a Banana Republic. I sell a lot of Banana Republic, guys. It does very well for me. Definitely a Bolo brand for me. This one came from a box from, most of these boxes came up from, oh, what's the company called now? Helpsy Source? I don't know what it's called now. They've changed names so many times. But you guys, if you've been following me for a while, you remember that company where we used to buy from them all the time. This was from, a lot of these items that were relisted were from those boxes. So I paid around $3 for each of these items. This one sold for $25. This one was a wool blend. Men's pants wool blend. This sold quickly as well once it was relisted. And, oh, I just made a sale. And my profit was $20. These sold for $25. So very, very happy to get those out the door. All right, couple more. This was another bins find, guys. I picked this one up because it was lace and very boho, gothic, whimsical, whimsigoth, all those keywords. This was a New York collection lace blouse. It was black. It had a, you could see that it has, Yeah, it has a, let me show you here. It does have the, you know, the tank underneath it because this was completely sheer lace. I felt bad because when I got it home, I noticed that it had a little bit of a pink staining back here, but because of the kind of piece it was, and I only paid like $1.30 for this, let me see here, $1.26. I took a chance and I posted it anyway and just put in the picture and in the listing that it had discoloration on the back, and it's still sold for $31, which I could not believe. I mean, that's crazy. So my profit on even a damaged piece was $24.26, and I got good. I got an order complete on it, and it was good go. So very happy that I listed that piece anyway. All right, this is another one of those stories where I actually, unfortunately, the sizing on this was wrong, and I don't know how this happened. They did put into Poshmark to do a return. They have yet to ship the return. So if they don't ship the return, Poshmark will automatically release my funds to me. I'm still waiting to hear back. I think they have like 3 to 5 days to ship the item, and it's been a few days now, so I'm expecting probably by the weekend, early next week, I will get my funds back. I don't know how the wrong sizing got on this listing, but it did. I felt bad. It just goes to show that we do make mistakes, and just to be very mindful when you're doing your listings that you're double checking, especially sizing, measurements, and things like that. My husband does my listings now, and he is always verifying the measurement from the ruler compared to the measurement that goes into the listing when it's done by AI, because they do get them off. So that's one of the first things he does, is he verifies measurements versus the pictures in the listing. And if he needs to make corrections, he does so. But we're going to also make sure that the sizing is correct on things as well, just to double and triple check everything. All right, guys, the last item on Poshmark is, like I told you, this hunting vest. I bought 2 of those that one day. They have both now sold. This was another hunting vest that I picked up for around $1.30. This one was a different brand, vintage Saftback hunting shooting vest, canvas USA extra large. This one sold for $45, guys. So do not be shy on hunting vests. Even if you see them in the thrift store for $3, $4, $5, $6, definitely run comps. Always, always, always run comps. But if the comps are good, guys, I would pick them up because they sell for good money. The other one was, I think, like 30 or 35, and this one was 45. So $1.26 into 45, my profit was $36 in that piece. All right, guys, that wraps it up. Let's get back to the video and end this video out. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining me in this sold video. Let me know how your sales went last month in December, and also curious to see how January is going so far. Normally, January is a slow month for us, but actually, we've been doing pretty good this month. I'm really happy with it so far. So anyway, just let me know how things are going for you. Tell me what your favorite sale was here for the month of December and what surprised you. Anyway, so thank you so much, and you guys, until next time, we'll see you soon.